questions, kind of. Hello everyone and welcome back to the high banks of Daytona for the rerun of the BRL 500. And we have with us the eventual winner of the 500. He's going to help us broadcast as well. Paintbrush, thanks for joining us again up here in the studio.
Why'd you give him the ending already?
Well, you know, I mean, they already know. If anyone that tuned into our previous broadcast, they already know. So, you know, but what they don't know is how you got to that point. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start 3, 2, 1, and we're going to go ahead and load up into the 500 here for BRL. To start the season, the much anticipated start of season 2 of this league. A lot of returning drivers, but also some new faces to join the league as well. How would things turn out? Well, we'll give you the first 30, and from there you can use your imagination as well as the BRL update to figure that out. And we are yellow flag. Remember that BRL takes the first lap to kind of set the grid, if you will.
No,
that's exactly what is going on here.
After we do the first 30, I can get in the booth subscription.
Okay, that'll work. Let's take you up to the front here. And so we'll go on to kind of go through the grid row by row. Let's start with row number, as soon as the grid is set. We're not quite set yet, but this was a much anticipated race. There were some people with 16 to start. We had a full field to start this race, which was sweet. And some of the icons didn't load in because I'm seeing a lot of 24s and 18s and stuff like that. Okay.
What happens when you take pictures sometimes and nobody really loads in? We'll load in after.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at the field first. We've got Paintbrush in not the 18, but Paintbrush in the 54, and we've got Back in Black, who's in the 9.
I mean, it's the same.
Row number 2, we've got Jaron Hazen returning to a league race in the 09, and then gonna try to win the 500 here. And then of course we got Frosty in the number 23 Toyota. Row number 3, Wes is gonna ride that number 21, and outside of him is TGM Crazy. He's gonna drive the 12. He hadn't quite got his paint scheme together yet, but he's working on it. Row number 5, Ghost Train, one of the final 4 finalists. He is returning alongside of him, a rookie, AL Ghost. So we got 2 ghosts starting side by side. Spooky, huh? How about that? Woozy Emu is going to start on row number 6. He's going to start with the White Hammer returning. He's going to drive the number 83. Sam Cook is going to pick up row number 7, and beside Sam Cook is going to be Skitty Brave, who is a hot seat, but he is returning. Weltdang, Beloved, Habby, Dawson to bring up the top 16, and green flag, here we go. Oh, and already trouble. Already a little bit of trouble in the back. They get it panned out, the 8. The 96 kind of get it panned out. Let's take you back up to the fields right along with Ghost.
We're on the track. I think I'm pretty close to you. Just don't really know where you are on the track.
side by side for the lead up front. They are going at it 2x2. The 09 on the high side smacks the wall just a little bit. The 9 is there. Look at the 12, and there's your top 3. Paint the 21 of West with a strong start, and the 12 of Krasny, another strong start for the 12. Last season, not so strong a start for either of the last 2 drivers, and they are not allowing the same thing to happen to them in the early stages of this 500.
It's looking like the top 3 is pulling away a little bit here.
I tell you what, Wes has been one of those guys that, he's been an anomaly. Even in KMR, back when KMR existed, when he got especially up in the Cup Series, he was able to win some races, so it wasn't like he was not successful at all. But, I mean, very, very inconsistent. And we saw that last season in the inaugural season of BRL, just inconsistent finishes that kind of riddled his chances to continue to move forward. So it's nice to see him with a strong start in the 500, the very first race of season number 2.
Looks like there's a second pack here forming up with 23. Yeah. Looks like they're starting to close the gap. I mean, the track right now, it looks like it's all spaced out. There's all different groups.
Yeah, so we got about 3 different distinctive packs. The lead pack, and then a group of 2 behind them. They're doing everything they can to keep up. And then this group here, which is the second Ghost, the White Hammer, Skitty Brave, and then the 88 of Woozy Emus dropping like a fly, who's sitting back there in that pack. And then we got another group that seems to have formed up with like 6 or 7 cars in it. And so let's see if we can get a glimpse. That's Welp Dang, the 48 that's in that group, the 8. This is a group that kind of got involved in that little skirmish early. Now they're trying to form together and get something going.
So the top 3's pulling away a little bit by a little bit here. Each of the groups are like starting out basically on their own. There's a little group in the middle. Side middle and good.
Let's ride aboard someone who's really his presence is here for one thing and one thing only, and that is to win the BRL 500. Jaron Hazen, he and KMR was very successful in almost every way. But how many restrictor plate wins? Well, how many Daytona 500 wins in all of the 40 seasons he ran of KMR? Only one. He'd love to get his season started with a BRL win and make history.
Sam, did you think this was going to happen? Everybody's going to break off different groups, or did you think it was going to be side by side?
Well, I figured to start the race early. I think if it was staged, I think it would look a little bit different. But I knew early it would be a line, the typical Daytona line, because you got so many different strategies going on. You got a strategy of drivers that want to fall to the back, ride it out. You got strategies of drivers that want to push to the front and lead as many laps as possible. And then you got that mid pack that just gets caught in between and they don't know what they want to do. They're just running, trying to keep up with someone. And so I figured that this is the way it would look early in the race, and that's exactly what's turned out here.
Right. Looking like the third group's breaking off little by little. I mean, the main battle for the lead right now is forward the 21 and 12.
And poor Wes in the middle there, that one Ford just sandwiched in between those Toyotas.
He's probably getting, oh man, I'm gonna feel his elves right now. I need some Ford help, something.
No Ford power to the rescue this time. And so, different from last season's start there at Indy, this season at Daytona, one of the biggest changes is the team aspect, which I'm pretty sure people are happy to see headed into a track like this, where having teammates and chemistry is so important to success. And so it's going to be very, very interesting to see how these guys handle that team aspect and what strategies come in that regard. Now, there are a lot of single car teams that have not, people who have not gotten a teammate, and they are considered single car teams and will earn team points regardless. But we got a few teams out there that are together, like PBR, one car leading, the other car way in the back.
Yeah, Dawson dropped the road first car tonight. I don't know about that. I think he loaded off the collar wrong.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I mean, with the draft package that's on these cars, was it a good idea? Is it a good idea to fall to the back like this? You know, or did you want to be aggressive? You know, what's your take on that?
It's basically a risk versus reward. I mean, if you're going to stay up front, you're risking it because of the stimulation damage. But, you know, if the race is going to end out wreck after wreck after wreck, I guess being in the back would be a reward because people are front and dying and you're going up more and more positions. But, I mean, as of right now, as the race is playing out, it's not looking like that fall to the back option is going to be a smart one based off how the groups are spreading out. And you see a top 3 or 4 away from the 2 that are just in the middle and on the back.
Whoa, we got contact. Side by side action, the 8, the 48, the 9, the 09, all side by side. And the 8 and the 48 were side by side. That's the 48 of Little Happy, who is a hot seat. And then the 8 of Sam Cooke. And they touched just a little bit, and that just killed all of the momentum off that high side. And so now you're trying to find a way to get back to the inside as you see the 9 trying to take advantage. But it's 3-1 right now on the bottom to top. So the top lane should have an advantage, correct?
I mean, it should, but not every time. If there's more on the top, it should work. But if there's more on the bottom will work. It's all depends on how much speed you have and how much of a run and how much people are committed to do it.
The 9 rubbing doors with the 8. Why did everyone want to hit the 8 car? It's just, you know, you would think with all the bright colors that everyone would stay away, but I guess not. It was just a hit me because I'm the 8 car kind of deal for Sam Cooke. And then you got the 09 of Jaron, but then you've got this group here. I think that's the 88 that's trying to hang with the 9 there. Nice little pack here that's forming. Really aggressive racing to be this early in the race too, and to be nowhere near the lead. You would think that these guys would want to get on the bottom all lined up and then, you know, charge their way to the front. But instead, we had this nice little group here battling back and forth.
Most definitely. I mean, if I was in a big pack right now, it'd be like, is it really risking it here? Because one wrong move, you go into a turn and hit the wrong person around, there goes that whole line of cars. And you gotta think of it like that. It's like, you want to work together, you gotta work so closely together, and so like in a line form, you get to the front and they're wrecking each other. So in Daytona, it was like holding your line and not wrecking each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this rebroadcast of the BRL 500 right here at Daytona for race number 1 of the BRL season. Joined alongside Paintbrush here in the studio as we call this race. And we'll give you as much of the broadcast as we can give you tonight. And we hope that you enjoy what's going on as we take you through the field right now. The leader is none other than Paintbrush,
who has got a
big margin over the rest of the field right now. But something I'm noticing here, that number 12 is starting to lose that draft just a little bit. And look at here, we're about to have a lead change. Look at the 21 making a charge on the inside.
He goes to the lead. Looks like he's going to fall here in second. He's going to slide in the gap where the 12 is breaking off. Maybe a little lead change here. We'll see Dale 54 is going to run in behind the car because he's leading the whole race. And he's going to get through. The main thing is here, I guess, fuel saving. You can say fuel in the draft. Leading out front is wasting all your fuel, and it's going to be a fuel mileage. Why your calculations to be correct.
I'm glad you mentioned that because let's take a look at our fuel. You see pit stops coming up very soon with 17.2% and counting in the fuel column. So we have to assume that field strategy, these guys are on the radio, what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, how we're going to do it. All of that is going to be coming up, really soon. So, yeah, you can see how that could be a strategy move, especially with the 12 being a Toyota too, could be a power move against that Ford there as far as strategy is concerned as to why he would give up the lead temporarily. And then, of course, you got this train of cars that's back here in the back, led by the 48, a little Happy. And so now a lot of talking on the radio. When are we going to pit? How are we going to pit? Is this pack actually broken in half? It was about 6 cars big. Now it's 3 and 3 with the 48, the 8, the 9. That's Little Happy, Sam Cook, and Back in Black. As they come up on the 24 and the 46. 24 of Lucid Ghost, and the 46 is Skitty Brave.
Another thing is, you're talking to your team, it's like, okay, let's pit. But you want to make sure you're not like side by side going to pit road, behind each other. You got to make sure you're spaced out so you don't cause a wreck on the pit road. That would be a terrible thing to do. DNF coming to pit road.
That would be absolutely true. And, with the way the season is formatted, one DNF, one mistake could be the difference between advancing and being eliminated because you only have 4 races per round. You don't have time to, you don't have an extended regular season where you have time to bounce back and get consistent finishes and maybe visit some racetracks twice so you can correct mistakes. No, you don't have that kind of time, so every finish means something. As here they come. This second pack here as they approach this group right here and prepare to try to pass. And here they are side by side as the 24. Got to be very, very careful as they cut off the momentum of these guys. There's a 48 on the inside. They make contact. That stacks up that whole line right there. Look at it, 3 wide on the move here. There's a 9, jumps in front of the 8. He gains a spot.
No one in the top 5 is pretty jet. Fuel mileage, getting calculated the numbers, and everything's going to play right now. You think everybody's racing in a straight line? Just trying to hold the line now. Trying to get the numbers right. What lap to pit? What lap are we pitting next? That's the big thing. If we're going to aim it on this lap, we got to make sure we can stretch it to this lap, so that we're good for the end. Now, this is what I like about strategy racing. You're planning ahead so that you can be faster and you can outrun like somebody you're battling.
I agree. Yeah, so a lot of communication. Communication is the key, especially between teammates, and determining what you're going to accomplish and what you're going to do. Especially for the leaders, because they're trying to keep the leads. We got people in pit road. That looks like Skinny Brave, the 46, decided to take it on down the pit road.
Sam, if you were smart, would you put with people or top?
I think it depends on the situation. Obviously, the reason why I say that is because, we saw last season how important leading a lap would be. So in a situation like this with everybody spread out, I think getting the opportunity, if I can outlast the leaders, be the last one to pit each cycle, then if there's a late race caution, I could possibly stay out. Leaders have to pit. That puts me up front with an opportunity to win it. The 24 to pit road.
Top three are still the same. Wesley Ver in first, Paintbrush in second, and 12 car in third. Looks like they're coming up to a lap car. Let's see if lap traffic comes into effect here.
You just see the distance they put on Frosty in the 23. Just, you know, moving right through the field. Right here at Daytona, we've been green since the start of this race. And there's been about, let's see if we can get some info as to how much laps. We don't know laps, but quite a few laps have passed so far. If I had to guesstimate, I'd say about 25 laps so far out of 100. No stages. Ooh, that lag though by the 12.
Let's say that again.
Back in the field and see as our leaders are coming up on that lap traffic, the Skitty Brave and Ghost traffic there. Let's see if we can get a glimpse back in the pack. Let's find our other Ghost.
I think we gotta call him Ghost 1 and Ghost 2.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. And he's a part of this second pack, and he's drafted at 23. Ghost being a part of 484 Racing, and he's someone who teammate is not officially in the series, even though he is here at Daytona and running. He is a hot seat, so a lot is hinging on his finish here. I'm sure he wants to be one of the first of the hot seat group to finish, have a shot to run next week.
This front pack here switching back pretty quickly. Looks like lap traffic may come into play here. It's either we're going to see lap traffic first or we're going to see pit stops first. What do you think's going to happen?
No, I think we might actually see pit stops first. I don't know.
Got some cars coming out of pit road.
Those lap cars move up out of the way of the leaders as Wes continues to lead the field around Daytona. And there they go. Leaders into pit road. At least there's Wes in the pit road. Paintbrush is going to stay out and regain the lead.
The person who did that's going to affect 21. Now everybody right now racing in the pack. you know, and he had such a big lead on the field in this 3-car pack that he's going to come out by himself and he's just going to lose it. It's gonna be unfortunate.
Yeah, it's going to be real important for him to get up to speed and tag to one of those packs that are getting back on the racetrack and loading back up. That way he can maintain some distance on where he was, or at least be in contention. Paint continues to lead, and now here comes the leaders. Paint in the 12 in the pit road. Let's see what this other group does. And there goes the second pack in, and the 8 stays out and leads a lap.
There you go. Can't say you didn't lead a lap.
But again, like you said, Paint, earlier, you know, now who's his drafting partner? How is he going to be able to maintain his positions on the racetrack? Where is he going to come out at? So this puts a lot of pressure on his team when he pits to make sure he gets a good pit stop.
Exactly. Nope, it never did.
And that is it.
Up to me. So I'll give a brief description what happened in the last of the race. We stayed green for a little while. 12 cars, 54 car were going back and forth leading. It was about like a 10 and 12 second gap. And then we had a caution and everybody pitted. And the 09, 54 and the 23 were all got into a group. They pulled away from the field. And there was one more caution. The 09 gained the lead. And that was like 5 or 6 to go. On the restart, 54 pushed the 09. 54 and 09 got Forza glued, and the 09 shot right into the car that restarted second. It caused a stack up. 54 got the lead. The car and the 09 tried to get together. Just passed 54. The 54 is your BRL 500.
Nice recap. I like that. And so there you have it, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. We tried to bring as much of the action to you as possible here on Twitch Monster 27. Be sure to join us Thursday, as we have a broadcast Thursday night, as we run some iRacing for the first time in quite some time. Possibly broadcast might be delayed a bit for some practice at Maple Valley, I tell you, because I definitely need it. And then, of course, check us out definitely on Saturday night, because we will be here. And you can check out the official voice of the BRL series, Zao Factor, as he brings coverage of the race there in Maple Valley. All right. So we hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you, Paint, for joining us tonight.
Hey, before we end, I have one more question for you. How many cars do you think is going to be enough on Maple Valley?
I have to say, if it's 16, I have to say probably about 9 will DNF out of that race.
It's gonna be, especially if it's in the rain, it's gonna be one messy race.
If it's the rain, yeah, it is. It is. If it's in the rain, it's gonna be, it's definitely gonna be bad. It's gonna take a lot of patience and everything. But in any case, we will see. Thank you, Paint, for joining us. This has been Twitch Monster signing out.